Hello YouTube and welcome back to Minecraft Extreme Builds and the Victorian London house build around this square over here. Last time out we began this, so you can see that we marked out where our square is going to be. We worked out what the width of our road is going to be and put in some rough blocks to give us a slight idea as to what to expect. We also went ahead and put in a 2-meter pavement. And in addition to that, we built a very, very rough idea of what the houses are going to look like. Now, for those people who watched the last episode, you'll probably notice that, hang on a minute, these houses suddenly have stairs and the doors seem to be raised up. I'm going to get into that after the intro, but also I've dug out this area, and this is the area for the first house. This is where the garden is going to be. This is all the house area, and of course we've got the little area at the front, which is where we're going to do something. And I'll explain that in a moment. So make sure you stay tuned for this video, because we are going to start trying to work out some colours for the house and start working on a little bit to try and actually start placing some things in here. And of course I've got to explain the stairs. So let's get started. Now, when it comes to Victorian houses in London, they all seem to have a tendency to have steps going up and windows below, and that's where they used to have some form of basement. I'm not sure if this exists in other places, but it is certainly a very, very common thing to have in London. So we are going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be planning out the exact same style. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to break all of these. Nope, that isn't correct. There we go. And you're going to see what I place in. So at this point, you're looking at this and thinking, well, I mean, it's just dirt there. Well, that's going to change as well. And I'm not going to put brick there because it isn't brick that we place there. No. You see, in the actual build, when I actually start it over there, we are going to be placing a few things, but for now we've got the brick, but I am going to place something better over here. And what is going to go in over here, and indeed along this entire bottom row that you can see, is going to be, I don't want concrete. I know what I want. I want a... Right. It is going to be, and I've got to find it now, for this anyway, to give us an idea. It is not going to be snow. Quartz. That, I believe, is the one I was after. Is it quartz that I'm after? Yeah, for this demonstration, quartz is going to be the one that I use. So, all the way around the house, we are going to have that. And that is what the bottom of our house is actually going to look like. All the way. In fact, we probably need to drop this further down. I've just realised that this is going to need a slightly bigger drop than I first anticipated. Is that the drop? That looks about right to me. No, there we go. That looks about right, yeah. So we're going to have the floor there, and then we can put, and yes, it does happen, windows. You do get windows here. It is something that does happen. So we're going to place some windows in there. Of course, the windows are not going to look quite as I want them to yet. but that's completely okay. So that's as low as we need to go. So that's layer there. And you're probably now thinking, for those people who maybe have not ever seen this, you're probably thinking now, well, hang on a minute, how does this work in the concept of stairs? And also, what is the point of having a window down there? Point of the window? You can get a surprising amount of light in. That is for sure. But realistically, the window itself it's just because you cannot have a empty basement. I mean, not an empty basement, a basement with no natural light. Particularly as sometimes those basements in larger houses in London tend to actually be rented out. So it isn't that the basement is just a connection to the house. Sometimes these basements actually have doors. For example, you'd actually have a door right, maybe not there. You'd probably have a door. Let's see if that was the house. Here, yes, you would. You'd probably have a door there and a window there. And that would be somebody else's house down here. I know, strange, really strange. But that is how it goes, and that is how it works. And this would obviously be, so where you've got this would be the roof, the ceiling. That would be the top of the house there, which is, I think, fascinating. Really, I think it is rather remarkable in the way in which these things have been designed. I'm also finding it rather remarkable that I've been unable to properly place things. So that is looking all right. I'm going to put that all around the house. Again, just to point out, this is not the extreme part of the build. This is just the planning stage of the build. So we'll do that all around there. And I'll tell you what, realistically, we know it's going to go around the back of the house, so I'm not going to push it all the way down. I'm just going to do this. Actually, I might have to push it all the way down. I've just realised, because if we start planning out how the rear windows are going to go, we're going to need something. Anyway, we'll see. We will see. We might only just do it for one. For example, we'll work on the one at the back. The one at the back, the one at the end. We'll just work on this one, for example. No. And we'll just do that. So that is that done there. Let's go ahead and do the side of the house without breaking anything else, please. There we go. Oops. Let's fix that and pop that back in. Okay. So now we have this border all around the house, as I have a little bit of lag, and that looks fairly good. Now I'm going to stick. Now, how should I do this? Should I stick two windows in like that, or should I stick a double window? Again, this is something that is something I need to, as usual, think about. Let me have a look on Google Earth and see what we have. Rather large windows on these. So for these ones, somebody's actually gone ahead and done much larger windows. Oops. Oh wow, what would that place? I guess I'll just break through some of this. So this is our test house here that we are going to use. And I will, let's see, what's that window like? Now you see, that is actually not that terrible. I think that would be a reasonable window, but because also because of the style of the house, what you might end up with is you might end up with a window that goes almost up to here. You see, Because if you think about it, you need to be able to get as much light in as you can. Now that doesn't look right, and the reason that doesn't look right is because these windows are a whole block. So if I find a slab of quartz, there we go, that would do. That suddenly looks better. So that is the idea. I think that is the idea I'm going to have. So let's go ahead and do that just on a few houses so that we can see. There we go. So that's the size of the window. Great. Now, unfortunately, the idea here was to not have an entire block here. It was just supposed to be half a block. I need to get a better moon texture. I've got great clouds and everything, but I need a better moon texture. Let's go to sleep and get back to daytime as quickly as we can. I've got lots of Stack Overflow errors. Programming jokes. Right. I'm guessing a lot of people that are watching this may not have got that. That looks really good. That looks really, really good already. And that's not even the start of a build. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Okay, so now what do we do? Now we break that. No. We're going to take this down. And we're going to give a rough idea as to what we are going to have. So I'm going to place some dirt along here. All the way along. So this gets replaced with dirt, but on this dirt I'm going to put some fencing. Nope. So I'm going to put some iron bars, I think. Oh, we've got lots of different types. Barbed wire, no. Thick cage, no. Thin grid, no. Fence, that's it. Roughly this. In fact, that's pretty much what I'm after. I'll break parts of the fence, of course, to have entrances, but for now, let's just build this all the way along. Yeah, that's roughly what I'm after, and then we'll just go ahead and break each one of these. Now we could have. Oops. Whoops. Wow, oh, that's a nightmare. Fences are a nightmare. There we go. We could have taller fences if we wanted. But I mean, the downside of a taller fence, as you're going to see, it blocks out a lot in the way of light. So for example, if we go inside here, when we're on the ground floor, which is there, not great viewing at all. So we're only going to go with a fence that is no more than 1 meter high. What I could do, just for no, that doesn't look right. There we go. So that is the front of the houses done. Now, of course, we've got the whole question of, well, what about this? How do we have the steps and everything? So what I plan to do is I plan to, of course, have a path like that. And here as well. Let's unblock that one. Let's go all the way along and do these two. And this one. But you can see that that's fairly narrow. I mean, you could easily just fall straight down into that hole. So to counter that, the idea here is we're actually going to have longer stairs because we do not need to get down here, you see. So the idea is we're going to have longer stairs, and we're going to come on, do that. Now, not all the way, just like that. So you can see the fall is not going to be as great if and when you do fall. Like so. So that is kind of the idea. And we're also going to place there. That is going to go like that. I've got a feeling I'm going to regret the way I've done the building. But that's okay. Like that, and like that. Now what we could do is we could have wider stairs as well. Yeah, we could have wider stairs here, and then they narrow there, so that gives you less of a chance of falling, and then up you go and to the door. So let's pop those doors back in, make it look a little bit more like a... In fact, let me look at doors and the kind of colours we have available on doors, because I think we have lots of different doors in London, lots of different door types, and I think red doors are going to look really nice on the build. Red doors or blue doors. That's the idea. And we are going to build our own door. Build our own door? Yeah, sure. Okay, that is looking good. Let's see if there's any other doors that perhaps might look better. Magic door? No, let's not go for a magic door. An ebony door, that's an interesting style as well to try. Any other door? Papaya? No, certainly not. No. Cherry? No, that wouldn't work. Large? Nope. Not doormats. An olive door? Certainly not. No, I mean we could always go for... Let's try a black door on this one. Hey, now the black door looks even better given the ideas I have. Okay, let's leave 3 with black doors and let's leave 3 with red doors so we can compare we can see the difference and work on it from there. Okay, no, I'm quite happy with the way this is turning out. So that is roughly the idea. We can get rid of some of this stuff. No cobblestone required, no more iron bars required. Stone stairs might be required, dark bricks might be required. That's roughly the idea. Now, when it comes to the roof, this is where things are a little bit interesting. So, do we have... What kind of slabs do we have? Do we have diorite slabs? Ugh, that doesn't sound like a good idea. But, let's see. Diorite. We have a diorite bedside cabinet. What? Okay. I want a diorite slab. There we go. Pop one of those on. And then also I want something darker. Not quite stone. I need something darker than stone. Not bedrock though. And certainly not a wood. Not cobblestone. And something that we can have a slab in. So I've got to search for slab and start with the slab. Skystone. Skystone looks interesting. Let's try a skystone slab. Skystone small brick slabs. That's even better. Okay. So I'm going to... Ooh, that's good. That's good, that's good. Just had an idea. Sometimes these brick the top floor for some reason in Victorian buildings tends to be rather high. You see, that's not out of place on a Victorian building for some reason. Beats me why, but it is just how it seems to be. So, given that we have a diorite slab, let's take advantage of that and stick a basic diorite slab on top. Just as I said, we want a thinner row of the diorite. Much better. Much better. And that gives us an opportunity to have slightly larger windows as well. You see, we could, as I said, we do tend to have larger windows than the square. So we could go, oops. Tell me that there's brick slabs. Dark brick, dark brick. Dark brick. Slabs. There we go. Perfect. See, now that is working a lot better. Yes, that's working a lot better. Can I even do... No. That, I wonder how that looks. No, see now that ruins the aesthetic right there. So we have to have full bricks there and there. You can see I'm very carefully trying not to fall in. But that is now far more in the way of Victorian. So, let's just go ahead and do this all the way around. Oh dear. Up we go. Let's just go ahead and do this all the way around. And we will, so we can put bricks all the way. Oh, it's getting dark again. Yes, it does this every time. It's called the night. You know, get used to it. Trying not to make the mistake I made last time, which is just fall off to my eternal doom. Right, no. Diorite slab. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get the idea for the roof done, and that's the final thing I'm actually going to do on these. Actually, I might try and do a little bit more. I'm not too sure. Server backup started. Server backup done in 519. That was not 519 milliseconds. I know how long 519 milliseconds is, and that wasn't it. Okay, so now what we're looking for is roof height. So the roof height here, we're going to just do an assumption on the roof height, a temporary one, that we want the roof height to be there. And then it goes up to here. It comes down like that. Is that okay? I mean, it's alright. It's pretty high. That is pretty high up, actually. So, I mean, maybe get rid of that and do that. Maybe do that. I need it to be roughly even, so perhaps... There we go, two like that, and then we're going to do 2 there, 2 up. Ah, wait, no. No. Because that isn't the edge, and then we're going to do... Right, weather, clear, set, no, clear, 3,600 time set 0. There we go. Okay, so this is why I needed to plan this, because I need to make sure that I can build this correctly. So in the middle on that is the lowest. That's the lowest 2. In the middle here it's going to be the highest. And we're going to have the lowest, then the middle, then the highest. See, now I think that roof is not quite as I'm not sure, that it just doesn't seem the way I want it to be. I'd rather it was sharper at the top, you see, like that. Hey, that could actually look good. That could actually look rather good. I don't mind doing that. You see, I don't mind doing that because, oops, it gives it but basically from the front it's going to look really nice as well. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. It just gives it an idea that, hold on, there is a roof here. So, you know. And one of the things that I think is rather important. What have I done here? Oh right, I didn't stay down at the bottom. There we go. And that is actually how one of these houses actually goes. Unfortunately, we cannot do that. But that is generally how these houses go. So each, as they connect, they just do up and down all the way. Okay, so that means that we require I think we need the sky stone. So what's it called? Sky stone? Small brick, there it is. That is the one. So we're looking for fairly dark colours here. We'll do the same along here. Nope, up there. And we're going to have a chimney. That's the other thing we're going to do. I'm just going to do a small part of this. So though I'm doing this all the way along, I'm actually not. I'm stopping here. In fact, no, might as well do the end one. Just for the height. But I'm not going to do the entire roof. There we go. I'm going to do this one's entire roof, and I think that is it. It shouldn't take too long to do. This is slightly... see, it's those ones that can cause problems. Come on. There we go. This does actually look, in a way, it does look like a roof. So I'm actually quite happy about how it looks. Surprisingly, I mean, in Minecraft, I find it rather difficult with the constraints to build certain things, but in this particular case, I think I've done an alright job. I do think I've done an alright job. I think perhaps, yes, wow, that looks incredible like that. It gives it a sense of scale in a way. That's strange. Anyway, come on. Imagine just looking up at all the way to the top of a building. I still think I would have liked to have this a little bit of a better roof line up and down. I'm just going to check once again on Google and see. Let's have a look. Right. And I'm using Google Earth as my way to check things. Okay. Yeah, actually they are fairly shallow. What I have noticed is that at the back of the house, they do not tend to have this at the back or the side of the house. It's just the front of the house thing. There, so realistically the top should be there, and we just put the roof all the way to the back. So that's something to take into account. It's, for some reason, it is something that is only at the front of the house, not even at the side. There, and then we can just go ahead and... Oh no, wait. No, there. And down we go. And we'll just go ahead and do... Oops. That. Again, just pointing out this is rough. It isn't that this is going to be exactly how it is going to look. Just a rough one. There, so at the back of the house you're looking at something like that, which isn't bad. Really isn't bad. Although I think the brickwork also comes down to at the back of the... Yeah, it does as well. The brickwork also comes down at the back of the house. Which is why the front of the house has this raised section, because it's like a facade. But at the back, the brickwork comes down with it. Oh dear. So, at the back of the house, this area is actually like that, I think. And it isn't the roof here, it's that. How bizarre. I've never lived in a Victorian house, so I'm learning as we go along. I've seen plenty, but I've never actually lived in one. I've never seen one at the back. I might take some creative freedom with this one and actually place things slightly differently. But what this is saying is that 1, 2 blocks and then we have a drop. 1, 2 blocks and then we have a drop. 1, 2 blocks and then we have a drop. And wait, what? Oh, it's this. Oh, and because of the... Right, I see what the issue is. I do see what the issue is. But that will be fixed when we do the full bit. So, okay, so facade at the front, which hides everything. So it is supposed to hide everything, so we are supposed to have that all the way up like that. But not a facade at the back. I wouldn't mind doing... I wouldn't mind making it look like that. If I'm completely honest. There, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just have the 3 there, and then let's see how this looks. Victorian. Surprisingly, yes. Surprisingly, that does look Victorian to me. In fact, this entire build is starting to look rather Victorian, which is great. That was the entire idea. So now we have this sort of planned. We've got an idea as to how we do things. How about the windows down here? I did say that that was going to be something we needed. Oh, this floor is... Oh no, wait, no, that is the right floor, which means that this goes slightly further down. There we go. This does look absolutely incredible inside. Right. There's just something about this as I'm building it. Just looking up at a design like this, and it is very, very nice. I think this is part of the... See, this is where we would put a small wall or something. So realistically, you see that the size of this room would be quite big. Or it could be quite big. About 3 or 4 meters. Which is fairly large. It isn't... How large is 3 or 4 meters? Looking at about a 9-foot room, which is really quite good. Let's shed some light on the situation. Torch, perhaps. That might help. There you go. I'm just going to pop a torch down here. So all 4 corners. So that we can see a little bit better. Also, I want to leave the house. Lets me out. There we go. Also on this corner, I'm going to place one. In fact, I'm going to place one all around where we're going to be building. So I'll do one there, and then I'm going to do one there. I've got that. I'll pop one there. So now we're getting ideas as to how these houses are going to look. And I think they're going to look quite nice, actually. Still not 100% sure the top, but the rest of it, I'm fairly sure about the rest of it. I'm actually fairly sure about the rest of it. We could put little flowers down here, a gravel patch. Yeah, this does look quite well done. So I need to break these. It's annoying me as I look through a window and it's just, you know, that stuff. There we go, that's better. Much better. See, same thing here, look at that. Horrible. Just whatever I do, I just do not want to break the quartz. I know I could always put the quartz back, but... Okay, this one doesn't have the window, so there we go. Awesome. So there is our sort of idea on the build. Why do those not give off as much light? It's annoying. Let's go ahead and place torches along all of these as well. Let's try and light up the area as much as we can. We're not going to focus on the garden yet because there's plenty to do at the front and we know what the size of the garden is. This is how the garden size is going to be. We're going to have stairs. We're going to have... Again, I can play... Oh yeah, I was going to place a Ooh, bedrock. I don't know. Can I break the bedrock? I can, and it goes straight down to void. That's a bad idea. I didn't... Wow, we're only 1 level over bedrock. Okay, well, that was lucky. That was very lucky. So, what's the plan here? Well, I'm thinking, just a thought, if I have again, I have this window style, like so. I could do a double window like that. Okay, so you've got a window there, but not a triple window. Why is that? 1, 2, 3. What? How have I managed to? Oh, it's the quartz slab, of course. Here we go. Confusion galore. So I do something along the lines of this. Then I will block that up. There you go. So I do something along the lines of this, and then we've got our exit into the garden, which we could probably put some grass blocks here like that. There, we could do a little diagonal grass block, and then you've got a garden area to play in. We could do some shrubs and maybe a tree at the back, and then down here we could just have a nice sloping path, and then we can have a little flower beds or something, you know, or something down here. Maybe the flower beds go up here. But I think that would look rather lovely, I think. What I should do is place some. Sure, why not? I'll just use these slabs. I'm not a big fan of diorite, but in this case it's doing what needs to be done. There we go. That's where I can at least walk through this house. Okay. That is starting to really take shape overall. I'm still not 100% keen on the roof shape. That there is my biggest concern. Let's also put some windows at the back, because, you know, why not? You have a window there, we could potentially have a window right there. And have another. We could just do like a symmetrical thing. I wonder how windows look at the back of these houses. Once again, looking around. No, yeah, they're normal, standard, thin windows actually. But then at the front we have rather thin windows as well. I'm thinking these 2-meter windows perhaps are a bad idea. Perhaps that is what the windows should realistically be. They do look better like that. Those windows do look more realistic. I will say that. And for this one we do that, I think. Top of the floor. Start of the next. Hang on. That's the floor. That's the start of the next. Yeah, that's it. That is correct. So then makes that roof really low. At what, 2 meters? I'm sure I can figure that one out. But that is better. Let's have a look from outside. Oh, that is much better. Yes, that's pretty good actually overall. I'm fairly happy with that. And we can work out drain pipes and all that kind of stuff later, but at this point I think this is how I want to keep the house and the design of the house. And we could do a really strange design. We could do just a window here, and then we could have a door down here to get out into the garden. That's another potential idea, but that's something that we're going to have to work out in the next episode. I think I am fairly happy with the design. This design, in my opinion, is ready to go. This design is very... Come on, let me in. This design is very much ready to go. So I think I'm onto a winner here with this design. So that is the design roughly that we're going to keep, and in the next episode we are going to start translating that design into something we can actually use. So we are going to start with getting a brick setup, and we're going to look at getting not just a brick setup, but also this quartz sort of thing. We're going to look at getting a setup for that. So we're going to have a nice stone base, and then the bricks set up all the way up to the heights. We're not going to work on this weird part of the roof or anything like that. We're just going to make a flat building to start with, and then build up from there. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Minecraft. Set time. There we go. Minecraft Extreme Builds. Let's go for 8,000. There we go. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Don't forget to support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your support would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. And also you can find me on social media at ecgadgetlp for both Twitter and Instagram. As I said, next week we begin the build proper right over here. I'm going to actually dig out all the way down. So how many more is it down? 1, 2. That's bedrock. That's bedrock. Wait, what? 1, 2 down. 1 up. 1. 2 down. Okay, that is where I need to be. Fantastic. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time in Minecraft Extreme Builds. And I really should remember that on this particular map I'm only on currently Y is 2. Do you think I'll find diamonds down here? I'll see you guys next time.